What's up guys, Eden here, and before we get started straight into the video, I just want to let you guys know that this video is a collaborative effort. I have received some files from some people and they're really great narrators, and I just wanted to feature them onto the channel like I said I would on my last vlog entry. So I'm not going to take too much of your time. I just want to get straight away into that so that way when you guys listen to the video you don't get a little confused. Every single one of the narrators on this video I will feature in the channel description. So check out their channels, their links, follow them, subscribe to them, or, you know, go and check out their channels and see what they're all about. Some of them are just now starting on the narration road, and some of them have been on it for a little while. So I just wanted to feature them like I said I would. Just give a little shout out and you know, show them some love, okay? Alright, with that being said, we're gonna get straight into the video. You guys are gonna enjoy this, alright?
If you're reading this, I've already committed suicide. Seeing the people you've killed is a really good way to ruin a good night's sleep. I just returned from Afghanistan not too long ago, 8 weeks to be exact. Yes, 3. You know what question I'm answering. 2 men and a kid. In all honesty, it should have been 4. When we were clearing a building, I saw a pile of rags on the ground. I kicked it out of the way, and with some meaty thuds, the object rolled across the floor and began crying. The mother ran over and picked up her baby. The look in her eyes. I've seen the eyes of men who genuinely wanted to kill me, but hers were ones that didn't want me to die. They wanted me to suffer. Contact left. 2 males. I hear yelling in 2 different languages. All I heard in English was drop the knife. All I heard in whatever language they speak were threats. The knife was still in hand. Inhale. 2 to the chest, 1 in the head. Exhale. Inhale. 2 to the chest, 1 in the head. Exhale. We detain the mother. I walk over to examine the bodies. The man with the knife only had 1 in the chest. Where was the other round? I look behind him. I see a kid, no more than 12, dead. Hole in his throat. I got the jugular. There was more blood than kid. In the kid's hand was a sandy .38 caliber revolver. I still haven't inhaled. The night before was the last night I slept. Ever since that mission, I had been under a lot of stressful investigations. People questioning if I saw the kid. Jesus, if I aimed for the kid. Long story short, I'm clear. It's all that matters, right? I get to go home and enjoy my fat American restaurants. I get to see my family, my pregnant wife. I get to look into her eyes. I wish there was a way I could see her eyes without her seeing mine. I don't want her to see what I did. After 8 weeks of no eye contact, there seems to be a strain on our relationship. I glue my ass to the computer chair and let the room bathe in the blue computer light. My eyes hurt. I spend most of my time on Reddit, YouTube, Pornhub. I deleted my Facebook. Solitude and anonymity is the one thing that I seek most now. After 89 hours of no sleep, my wife convinced me to go see the doctor. A new drug called No REM, no problem. Didn't know if it was the motto or the drug, but doctor assured me it was the drug. Trust the name was the motto. I started taking No REM, and this is where things start getting crazy. I pop 2 pills before dinner and I'm golden. I sleep like it was an Olympic event. Constantly have the same dream, and occasionally wake up in places I didn't fall asleep. Became a party joke. Sometimes I'll wake up and my husband will be asleep in the bathtub. Sometimes I'll be just lounging around in the garden next to the tool shed. Everyone laughs. But if I told them the dream that preludes it, no one would. No one laughs at the slaughter of a 12-year-old boy. The only problem with this no REM is I can't wake up. I have to watch this dream. When it becomes too much, I wake up outside of my bed. Eventually, 2 pills stopped working. I had to upgrade to 3, then 4. Then I started having the daydreams. I don't mean I stared off into space or anything like that. I mean I was seeing shit. Sometimes I would hear the baby I kicked in the distance. Sometimes I would see the eyes of the mother when it got real dark. But one place I could never look, though, was the mirror. I would see a much happier version of myself, grinning ear to ear. At first I thought it was actually me. I thought I was actually happy. But then me, pull out a box cutter and slash at the arms. When I looked down, there would be nothing. Other times I would brand myself. Sometimes I'd cut a little bit of skin off and flush it down the toilet. My other self always told me to wear long sleeves, that he didn't want anyone to see his scars. I listened to him. For weeks, I tried to stay out of Amir's gaze, until I saw my wife crying. She was looking at the mirror, and she says he keeps cutting himself. I asked her who, but she didn't hear me. I screamed it. Still, she just kept staring into the mirror. I looked in with her. Maybe she saw what I saw. It was the same doppelganger, but this time, he wasn't smiling. He had a cartoonish frown on his face, one you would have to really try to make. Before I knew it, he was cutting her throat open with the same box cutter. As soon as I saw the blood pour out, I woke up in the garden next to the shed again. This medication was getting too out of hand. I got in my car and floored it to the hospital. Halfway there, I noticed I was in the same clothes I wore yesterday, which is strange because I always woke up in pajamas. After rushing to the hospital and being extremely rude to people, I convinced the doctor to see me right away. I tell him everything, and the next words he spoke made my heart so audible in my head, I would have thought it was behind my ears. John, you're in the control group. No REM should have had no effect on you because it's sugar. My mouth was dry. I couldn't even drizzle out a word. I looked down at my arms and instantly felt pain shooting up and down. I rolled up my sleeves and saw the brands, the cuts, the piece of skin I flushed away. I hear the doctor say something along the lines of, "Oh, sweet Christ." I scrambled for my phone and scrolled down to my wife's name. I tried calling it. No answer. Yes. In the shed. That's the answer to the question I know you want to ask.
Let me preference my story by saying this. I've never been afraid of noises from outside my window, ever. Even when I was little, I never had a problem with it. There could be constant rustling in the leaves or the bushes next to the house, and I would still be out like a light. Now, that's not to say I've never been afraid of anything coming in the house. That scares me just like it does the next guy. But I've got screens, locks, and an alarm on my window. I never was really afraid of anyone sneaking into my room. To be honest though, I never really used the locks or the alarm. I live with my parents, and their room is on the 2nd floor, but mine is on the 1st. So sometimes, late at night, I'd pull the screen out of my window and sneak out to be with my girlfriend at the time. I'd be gone for at most 2 or 3 hours, and then I'd return, put the screen back in, close the window, and go to bed. It started out being an occasional thing, but she seemed to like the idea of sneaking out late at night, so I started leaving my window alarm off and my window unlocked. Why go through all the trouble of resecuring everything if I'm just gonna go back out the next night? As the trips outside at night became more frequent, I'd find leaves and dirt on the carpet in my room. It was, at most, annoying. I didn't remember tracking in that much dirt, but it was dark, so I knew I more than likely just couldn't see it stuck to my shoes. My biggest problem was trying not to get caught by my parents. The window made a horrible creaking noise as it closed, and though it probably wasn't as loud as it seemed to me, my heart started racing every time I heard it. The panic plays tricks on my senses and intensified every noise I heard thereafter. I kept thinking I heard footsteps coming towards my room, but when I'd turn around, it'd be nothing. My door was still closed, and I knew that I was just getting worked up over nothing, but it still stressed me out to no end. Eventually, my girlfriend and I broke up, and I had no reason to sneak out anymore. To be honest, it was kind of a relief, not having to worry about being caught every night. The first night after the breakup, I fell asleep in a matter of minutes. I woke up at about 3 or 4 a.m. to some scratching noise outside of the house. I would have gotten up to look, but it was cold in my room, and I was already under the blankets. So I stayed put, hoping that I would be able to fall back asleep. When I woke up again the next morning, I got up to see what had scratched against my window. My screen was slashed open. By far not the worst thing an ex has done to me, so I just shrugged it off and forgot all about it. Next week, I woke up again at 4 a.m., and my window was scratched. I'd even venture to say it had been clawed. In the morning, I showed my parents the window. They both agreed that it was probably some animal. We have plenty of coyotes around here, and though they never heard of them clawing at windows, they figured it couldn't have been anything else. But my window was strong enough to keep it out. The next night, I woke up at 2 a.m. Someone had opened the window. For a brief moment, I just laid there staring in disbelief. I didn't open the window, or at least I didn't remember doing it. I sighed. I'd have to get up and close it. If it really was an animal that clawed my window, I didn't want it crawling inside. And besides that, it was cold outside. I was about to move, but my bedroom door opened first. The head that peeked out from behind the door was not human. I panicked, and my eyes snapped shut. I couldn't erase the image that I'd just seen, like a black silhouette, almost a walking shadow, with wide, empty eyes. I hoped that it didn't know I saw it. I hoped it would ignore me. I hoped it didn't know that I was awake. I was trying not to breathe too loudly, but I was so afraid. I was trying my best not to cry. Panic was again playing tricks on my senses. I wasn't sure if I was hearing my heartbeat or footsteps. It was most likely both. The footsteps got louder, then closer. The thing was looking around my room. It got closer to my bed and lingered. I could feel it touching my blankets. I could hear it breathing. I could no longer trust myself to breathe slowly. I just held my breath and waited. The sound of breathing got closer. I could feel the warmth just inches away from my face. And then it left. I heard footsteps leaving and the creak of my window closing. I started breathing short, shallow breaths, but wouldn't open my eyes. They stayed closed until the sun came up. When I opened my eyes, there were leaves and dirt on the carpet. I never sleep with my window unlocked anymore.
Hey. 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 Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Can you hear it? You can't? But why? It's so close and soft, yet strong. You don't hear it? That sound? But you should. It's so familiar to you. Do you hear it now? Let me help you. There it is. That's the sound. Do you know what that is? It's my heartbeat. The sound of my heart as I watch you. Yes, yes, you. You don't believe me? But you should, 'cause I'm right here, beside you, watching you, waiting for you to look at me. Can you see me? Can you see me? Can you see me? You can't? Oh, but you should. You should, because I'm here, beside you, watching you as you sleep. Don't be afraid. No, 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 don't be scared. There's nothing to fear. Why? Because it's me. Me who watches over you and guides you as you sleep. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? You can't, but you should. You should, oh, you should feel it right now. Does it feel cold? Does it feel sharp? Does it feel like exquisite pain? No, but it should. It should. Do you know why? Because it is time. Do you know? Do you know? Do you know who I am? You don't? You don't? Oh, but you should. I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming straight for you. And soon, soon, we will be together forever. And then it will always be time for us to play, because I missed you. I did, when you locked me away. But we're together, soon, very soon. Because now, I will drain you of every bit of life you have, so we can be together forever and play this game till the end of time. I missed you.